to the latest walk and talk from ourselves here at GPS Training. I'm John from GPS Training, and this is...
I'm Jane from GPS Training.
This is my dear wife, Jane. So what we're going to do a walk and talk on this time is Garmin Fenix 6 watches. So I've got a Garmin Fenix 6 Pro on my wrist, and Jane's...
I've got a 6S Sapphire on my wrist.
And we're based in the Cheviot Hills, a place called Kidland-Lee, and we've got a nice 11-mile walk ahead of us. First of all, before we start walking, what do we need to do? We need to plan the walk on the free Ordnance Survey route planning software. We did that yesterday, so let's take a look at us planning that walk. To start this walk, I'm just going to plan it quickly on the free Ordnance Survey route planning software from ourselves at GPS Training. So just go to our website, which is gpstraining.co.uk, and on the top menu bar, you see OS Planner. The OS Planner takes you to the page where we have the free Ordnance Survey route planning software. So the start of the walk is Kidland-Lee, so we just type in here Kidland and search for that. There we are, Kidland-Lee, Northumberland, and it centres the map on where we are in Northumberland. Then we literally just zoom in, and what we do is every time there's a major corner in the path, we literally just click, 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 and that creates this route. Or really it should be course, as expected. We'll follow it on a GPS watch. We are back at the start of the walk. It's 11.1 miles, so we can just rename this walk, can't we? Whichever we want. So just type in there Kidland-Lee. We've renamed it. Just check the number of waypoints. There's all the waypoints. There's 156 in total. We just press download GPX. What that will do, I'm on a Mac, but it's the same as a PC. It just downloads it to your download section. Once you've got it downloaded onto your PC or your Mac, it's a case of just transferring this onto your Garmin GPS watch. So, easiest way to do that, if you just scroll down on the same page, you'll see a video down at the bottom, which is transferring your routes onto a Garmin GPS watch. I won't go through it in detail. Let's go to this web page, which is OS Plan on the GPS Training website. Scroll down to the bottom, and there's video 6, which is transferring routes onto the GPS watch. And that video will take you through the process that you need to know to transfer that 11-mile walk onto your Garmin GPS watch. So what first thing we need to do is load that course onto the watch. We press this top right hand button up here, and then we scroll down through all the activities. This is how you could just record your activities if you want to do it that way. And we come down to the bottom where it says navigate. Press enter again on navigate, and we just come down this time to courses. Press enter again on courses. There's our course there, Kidland-Lee, 11.07 miles. Just press enter on that and press enter again on do course. It just loads that course on, and there we go. We just press the enter button again, and it will also start recording it as well as navigating along that course. So you can see the course here on the edge of the screen, and we can go through the various pages when we're navigating it. It's telling us that we're off course and the distance that we're to go. There's the elevation of that course. There's the information. Distance, we've not really walked anywhere. And you see on every page we get this directional arrow down the bottom. So when we're navigating on any page, you can see we get this directional arrow, which is showing us in the direction that we need to be going in. All right, heart rate, back to the time of day, and back to the map page. All right, so I tend to stick on this with a big arrow. So what do? We just follow that arrow. dropping down to the Oozeway burn, just down here. We'll have a quick look through the main pages. So that's the main navigational page that we use. So it says that I'm on course and distance remains. We're at 7.06 miles going. So what happens with a watch is when you go off course, your actual watch will vibrate. So it's quite a nice way that it vibrates your watch, and then you can see how far off course you are. Next page has got some elevation data on there as well. Just shows you elevation data. All these pages now have this little red arrow at the top, which is pointing to the direction that we need to be walking in. Then we've got a trip computer page, ETA, how long it is walking time to get to the end of the walk, distance remaining, so 7.04 miles, and the ETA, what time we're going to get back. So say we're going to get back at 4:15 this evening. Distance that we've walked so far, 4.36 miles. Time we've been walking, 1 hour 42. The speed that we're walking at now is 2.8 miles. So how long lap distance, so we've walked 4.37, 1 hour 42 and 21, and the speed we've been going at on average is 2.6 miles an hour on average we have. Heart rate, so that's got a wrist-based heart rate monitor, which is just there. Time of day, again all these pages have this little red arrow pointing in the right direction. And then the map page, so we've got the topo-active maps on there. So topo-active mapping just shows you where the paths are on the ground. It doesn't say if it's a footpath, a bridleway, or frankly a private drive, it doesn't. So again, that's why we pre-planned that first on the Ordnance Survey mapping before we went. So you do need to pre-plan on some Ordnance Survey mapping in the UK, so you know exactly where you're going. So just crossing the Oozeway burn. We've got the climbs, so what you do on this, you get a number of climbs. So we've done, we've been going 1 hour 43. We've got 6 climbs on the walk, we've done 3 of those so far. This distance, the next climb is very near, because that's what's ahead of us. So it tells our next climb is just relatively just coming across our next climb as well. And then we're back to our main navigational page. So you see it's pointing us because we're going to cross this stile here. The arrow has taken us in that direction. We start our third climb of the walk so far, which is taking us just up there. Any excuse to stop as we climb up the hill. So a bit of a stell here, and people know what the stell is, so we're just climbing up away from the Oozeway burn, which we just crossed a few moments ago, and sheep stells. So sheep stells are used really to protect sheep in bad weather. So you can see we've got some Cheviot sheep behind me, white sheep. Anyway, there they are. Cheviot sheep, our native breed of sheep in Northumberland. So what happens is, if the weather's going to get really, really bad, we'll bring them in and put them in a sheep stell. Also as well, sheep stells will be used at lambing time. So again, if the shepherd finds a sheep that's had problems lambing, or has to help it have its lamb, they'll put it in the sheep stell, just use it as a small pen really to protect it. Now sheep stells, you can actually tell how old the sheep stell is by the shape of the sheep stell. So in Northumberland, the older sheep stells are actually square, and the newer ones, still very old, are circular. So traditionally we used to build square sheep stells in Northumberland, and then we learnt from the Scots. So we learnt that from the Scots that we built a circular sheep stell, that snow will actually blow around it rather than building up behind the wall. So that's how you can find out how old the sheep stells are in Northumberland. If they're square, they're very old. Some of the square ones actually have little wings on them as well, which could be used to protect sheep. So if you can get all your sheep in your sheep stell, you actually get the protection of these wings coming out on like four sides of it. So that's a really old sheep stell, square ones with these wings on. And then we went to the Scottish type, which is the circular ones there. So get used a lot less now because we've got quad bikes and motorised for the shepherd to get around. In the olden days when the shepherd was solely on foot, the sheep stell was an important part of looking after his livestock, especially during the winter months and lambing. So just climbed up from Oozeway 4, there's a chain there back there, powering up with the poles. So it's been climbing up from Oozeway 4, which is a really isolated farm in the heart of the Cheviot. So no electricity, no nothing. It's just working. And we've climbed up quite a steep climb, really. You see the shower in the distance, the shower's right at the valley. It's just changed a little bit the weather, but hey, it's climbing up and then it levels out. It's the nice thing about the watch, it gives us that elevation data, doesn't it? And we can see exactly where we're going. So again, we're just going to pass over a stile through a gate and then hopefully get a little bit of shelter so we can look at some of the other features that we have on the GPS watch. Just drop back down into the forest, and again it's a real situation where GPS navigation, whether it's a GPS watch or a handheld unit, really comes into its own, because in this forest, like it's actually really quite hard to see the path. There's trees down crossing the path. The number of times we've had to veer right off the path, and then we use the GPS watch in our case to get back onto it so we can see where the path is, because again we're coming across obstructions like this. Now if we're navigating a traditional way, it'd be quite hard because we can actually physically see on the screen how far we're off course as such, and then we can navigate back on to the right of way in our case, because this classic example, tree across, how are we going to get around it? We walk around it and then we can get back onto the course. So again, if we just navigate with a paper map here, yeah, we can do it. Of course we can, you can do anything. It's just far easier with either a GPS watch or a handheld GPS unit. It really comes into it for when you hit these bit more problematic areas of navigating, just like we're experiencing at this moment. So yeah, I think this is it, because we've planned our route before, either on handheld units or on our GPS watches. In this case, we can see how far we're off the route or the course, and we can get back on it as we're wandering around to get across these obstructions. In this case, in this forest that we're passing through. So really nice example of how GPS navigation works, and where you really do benefit it when you come across little problems like we're experiencing at the moment. So, 9 miles in, a couple of miles to go. So I thought I'll have a quick chat to you about the different range of GPS watches in the Fenix range. So, Fenix 6 is the current range of Garmin GPS watches. As we said at the beginning, Jane's got the Fenix 6S Sapphire, and I've got the Fenix 6 Pro on my wrist. So, two key things is what's a Sapphire and what's a Pro. So, a Sapphire is a chemically hardened screen. So Sapphire is really a more premium product, chemically hardened screen, which gives you, which it's harder, doesn't break, or less chance of breaking, less chance of scratching, and therefore really good for the outdoor enthusiast who's going to really put it through its paces. The Pro screens is what's called Gorilla Glass, so it's still a tough screen, but it's a Gorilla Glass screen rather than a Sapphire screen. Jane's got the S on, I've got the normal one. There's actually 3 types of watches. There's the S, which is really more for the ladies, so that's the ladies or those with a smaller wrist. It's a smaller watch altogether, and as you saw earlier on with Jane's, you get it in rose gold, and there's white straps on, some of them are grey straps, as well as black versions of the S version. So if you've got a small wrist or you're a lady, the S version is worth considering. The normal one, which is the Pro or the Sapphire, there's also a titanium one as well, is the one I've got on my wrist today. And that's the one that is the normal size. There's also a 6X. A 6X is a larger watch altogether. Improved battery life. So a lot of people doing ultra events get the 6X because you've got a third more battery life than what you have. The problem is the smaller your watch is, the less battery life. And battery life's not a problem if you're just using it as a smartwatch, but we're walking with it and GPS navigation. And that's where we really need the improved battery life. So the S has the worst battery life. The normal one has the normal battery life, and the X has a third more battery life than any of the other GPS watches. There's also a titanium version. You may have seen orange bands, silver around the edge. Again, premium materials, slightly lighter, but it's nothing really to write on that. So those are your 3 ranges. You got the S, which is a small one, the normal one, and then we have the X version, which is the larger one, which has improved battery life. We've got the 2 screens. We've got the Pro screen, which is the Gorilla Glass screen, and then we've also got the Sapphire screen, which is the improved screen that is chemically hardened, that is harder. And then we've got various models as well. We've got the titanium thrown in there as well. So that's a bit of your summary of the Fenix range. It's quite hard just to explain what they are, but if you go to our website, I've done some video reviews. I'll leave it in the notes section below, where I look specifically at what the differences are within all those models. So that's really the range of Fenix 6 Garmin Fenix 6 GPS watches. So then we'll just quickly look back through the navigational pages, and then we'll have a look at the smartwatch pages as well, so the non-navigational. So again, when we're navigating a course on the watch, we see these pages that we've been looking at today. And there's also the other pages which you see all the other time when you're just wearing it every day as a smartwatch. So map page tells you how far it is to the end, and you see we've got our course overlaid on there, haven't we? So showing how far it is to the end of the walk. And we've got our elevation, which shows our climbs. So we'd like distance to our next climb, which is our final climb, is 0.6 miles, isn't it? So it shows the distance to the next climb. And the main navigational page, which shows that we're on course, direction we're walking in, and then distance to the end of the walk. So the other elevation as well page shows you that, and then don't forget on these pages we've got that red arrow at the top showing us which direction we should be walking in. There we go again. So how long it is to the end of the walk, estimated time of arrival at the walk, and the distance remaining to the end of the walk. Then we've got the distance walked so far at the top, how long we've been walking for, so 4 hours 42, and the speed that we're currently walking. Then this is our distance, so how far we've walked again, and the lap speed. The lap speed is actually the average speed that we've been walking during the walk so far. Heart rate monitor shows 108, another nice downhill section. Time of day, again don't forget we've got that directional arrow on all these pages as well, showing the direction that we should be walking in. And we're back to our map page. So those are the main navigational pages which we've been looking at, which when we're navigating a course, that's what we can see. We've also got the smartwatch functionality. So to go into smartwatch, we press this bottom right hand button and we go into the smartwatch. So there we are, straight away, the steps that we've covered today. And we just use the bottom up and downward arrow, just the same as we did before, to toddle between those pages. So let's have a look and see what we've got. So the weather. So what we can do is we go to the weather page, say our battery life at the top, time, how long our battery life has got. Key thing we get with the Fenix 6 range, instead of just saying like 80% battery life, it actually tells you how long battery life we've currently got, and that's what time the sun's going to set. And here's all the ABC, health. Now if you want to go into your ABC settings, you just press the top right and you can see there's the weather above, there's the ABC, and the next thing we're going to look at is the health. So again, if you want to go into your ABC settings, just press that top right hand button and we get more information. So we've got the compass, how high we are, sea level, altimeter, 809 feet, etc. That's a barometric altimeter. So again, to come out of it, we just press the backward button at the bottom button. That takes us out of that. So again, we can just go into any of these. So we can just scroll up and down these. If you want to find out more, you literally just press that top right hand button and it takes you into these are all your smartwatch features which you can access all the time. So have a look at another couple of pages. You won't look at them all. Things like just measuring your steps. Just gives you the steps there. So you've got the compass below and the training status above. To find more about the steps, press this top right button and we go into there, so it shows the steps that we've done in the last 12 hours in this case. So the target was 11,520 and so far we've done 25,334. And again, there'll be another page below that which will show us what we've done before. So again, we just press the downward button on the left hand side. It shows the average steps day by day. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an insight. There's lots of different information on the smartwatch. Again, it's not really a review this on using it as a smartwatch, but you can use this as a smartwatch every day. You get a lot of stats. Notice your heart level, oxygen levels of your blood, as well as this all smart notifications. So when it's tethered with your phone, if you get any notifications on your phone, you actually get them on your GPS watch as well. You can switch those on and off according to what you want. So that's a little bit of an overview of the main pages. Again, we can just jump back to our navigational pages, which is what we'll do now. Then we can just see how we are to the end of the walk. So jump back onto the navigational pages. There's the distance to the end of the walk. We've got that map as we've got ahead of us. So on our way back, and the sun's coming out. We've had rain, sun, everything today. It's kind of walking on the valley bottom as we're heading back to Kidlingley. Back to where we began, and what we've done is, because we've hit the end of the course, the GPS actually stopped navigating. We're still recording all the stats from my walk. Because we've hit the end of the course, it just automatically stops navigating. Very clever, the Garmin GPS watches. So what do we need to do? We just need to save our trip data, and I'll show you quickly how you do that on the Garmin Fenix 6 GPS. So there we are, we can see the data. It's 5 hours 30 54 seconds. So we've done 12 miles exactly we have, so I'm not moving at the moment. I've actually just take it on my wrist, it's a bit easier. And you can just roll through the stats that we've had there. No heart rate, because it's off my wrist, of course. Time of day, distance we've walked, speed, of course, 0 now, etc. So lap speed, so we've averaged 2.2 miles an hour over the 12 miles of the walk. And you'll know how. You'll notice now that also that the map page has vanished. Map page has vanished, and you can see the icons on the side. We've gone from down to just 4 pages, where before I think we had 6 pages, didn't we? So what do we need to do? We just need to save everything. So we just press this top left and top right hand button, and literally just saves that track. It does. So you'll see the next page that comes up is what do you want to do. 5 hours 31 37. We can resume it. I'm just going to come down to the save, press the save, and it just saves that. It just saving all the data of the activity we've just done. And then we get a quick summary, and you can refresh some of the stats of what we've done. So it's just saving. There we are. So there's our walk, 5 hours 31. Just going through the training effects of that walk. Recovery time 22 hours. There we are, back to where we are. That will also sync with the Connect app. We'll have a look at the Connect app as well and see how that all shows on there as well. So just going quickly through that. Once we're happy with it, we can just press the save button again, and then we can say done. And that's us back. Now we're back just having that smart watch as well. So that was what we quickly looked for at the end of the walk. I won't pan through those pages, but that's now back to the way it is as a smartwatch. So I very much hope you enjoyed the latest walk and talk with myself, John from GPS Stream, with the Garmin Fenix 6 GPS watch. If there's anything you'd like me to cover in future walk and talks, please just leave a comment in the comment box below. And again, if you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is very much appreciated. I've also put links below to the free OS route planning software and the products as well. So again, if there's any questions about any of those, please don't hesitate and just get in touch. Okay, thank you very much. 12-mile walk. It's been thoroughly enjoyable, and we've had all sorts of 4 seasons in a day. We've had rain, we've had sunshine, and we ended up with quite a nice sunset. The sun's just setting down over. People can see the Simonside Hills in the distance over there, which is where often I go walking. We've been at Kidlingley today, start and finish. We've been right up to the Scottish borders and then cut back round again. So thanks very much for joining us, and if you have any thoughts or feedback, please do leave it in the comment box below.